So, Animal Jam 2 was a largely anticipated project that was announced last year by the ex-CEO of WildWorks, Clark Stacy. In this supposed Animal Jam 2, it was going to be promised that Animal Jam Classic would get a complete redesign with a better performance, new updates to the game, and more to come. But as time goes on and the less we have heard about it, it begs the question if this is actually still happening, especially with the uncertainty with WildWorks and how they update their games, specifically Animal Jam Classic as well. So, hey all, Kick back here, and I figured today I'd talk about this Animal Jam 2. Obviously, on the channel, if you've been watching for a while, I've talked about this, once or two times, and I've referenced it in videos ever since, because since this was kind of announced by the CEO, Clark Stacy. And you know me, have a lot of context around the game in the community. I have some kind of insider scoop regarding this, and, whether this is still gonna happen type of thing. Because I think one of my most commented on, across all my videos, actually, one of my most received comments is asking, where is this, or what is happening with it, or is there any updates to it? And not even there, just from message requests on Discord or Instagram or whatever as well. People asking, where is Animal Jam 2? Is it going to happen? Is there any updates on this? So, let's talk about that. So just to quickly wrap up over the situation so far, it was announced last year that Clark Stacy would pretty much say, wow, we're tackling on this project of rewriting Animal Jam, pretty much. They're gonna, make a whole new Animal Jam and have a reimagined version, I guess. I'm pretty sure it was his words, if I'm saying or remembering that correctly. This was announced in a delicate AJ interview. This is the ambassador for Animal Jam. I'll put it on screen or whatever, or in the description as well. But at the time, a lot of people were really hyped about this. Animal Jam Classic was kind of getting its first boost in a while, and the the algorithm on stuff like YouTube and TikTok really helping out with the game, and people were signing into it a lot again as well. And it kind of hurts to say this, but I mean I've said this in one of my follow-up videos to this. It didn't do as well, obviously, because people like the idea of a shiny Animal Jam 2 type of thing, but Animal Jam 2 is not happening. That was never a thing, and it was heavily misconstrued. Even myself, I misconstrued it, based off the wording of it. I thought it was going to be like, oh, it's going to be another Animal Jam, they're gonna port everything over, but it's gonna be like another Animal Jam. But no, it was just gonna be the same kind of Animal Jam, just reworked into a different game engine. And I covered this in this video here on screen. I think it was called like something about Animal Jam Classic 2.0 updates or something, whatever. I don't remember exactly, but pretty much in this video I detailed that they were going to just rework the game from the ground up, and that would take time. It would be a big project, and I'm pretty sure in the video or the interview with Clark, he said, with the funding from Nazara, it would be a very big help in them actually being able to tackle on this project, and maybe, give it outsourced out of WildWorks to some people at Nazara in order to actually get this project rolling type of thing. And it doesn't seem like that's gonna happen at all, and I'll give my various reasons on why I think this is, and based off the things I've been told as well by some people close in WildWorks. So number one, the reason why this is not gonna come, it's not really worth it for Animal Jam to do this. Don't get me wrong, Animal Jam Classic is a game that a lot of people will want to see updated no matter what. However, I just don't think a huge, mass scale update is ever gonna come to this game again, especially to the kind of scale of updates that they give to Animal Jam Mobile. I feel like that's gonna be its primary focus, because that's their main moneymaker. If we're looking at it pretty much logically and financially, just statistically overall, Animal Jam Classic is not a game that they even should be supporting, but they are supporting it regardless, because they still see that some people do still play this from time to time. So there's really no incentive for them other than, pleasing the very small community of Animal Jam Classic players, for them to update this game on a large scale, to the point where they're gonna rework the entire game so they can just update it more consistently. Now, I've been told by some people from WildWorks that there were plans to incorporate ways to pretty much monetize Animal Jam Classic better in the same ways they do Animal Jam Mobile, so there would be kind of some incentive to, but I don't know whether that's even gonna happen still either, because I was told about that almost like 6 months ago, and there had been nothing ever since then. And Animal Jam Classic has since just got its same kind of routine updates every month, where there's like a new recolored thing or a new reskinned den, which is pretty much the most that they can do for that game, given the hardware and infrastructure of the game it's built off of, I guess. Then reason number 2, a change in direction. So what I mean by this is the CEO of the game, you might have heard in the intro of this video, I said ex-CEO. So Clark Stacey, he was the CEO of WildWorks and formerly known as, Smart Bomb Interactive. I'm pretty sure since like 2011 or something, I don't remember. But he was CEO for quite a while. He was infamously known in the Animal Jam community as being, Mr. Animal Jam. He was the top guy everybody would go to. He would do like those Animal Jam Q&As every year to like let people know everything about Animal Jam for the year onwards and stuff. And he was like widely accepted in the Animal Jam community for quite a while. Obviously there was, a little bit of fall off near the Fer.al stuff, but we won't dive into that because this is an Animal Jam video. But actually near the start of this year, nobody really talked about this because I don't think people are looking this up regardless. But there was actually a change in CEOs. I don't know if this was, something higher ups of Nazara decided, or if Clark decided this himself. I'm pretty sure he's now on the board of directors, which I don't know if that even, even has any say in what they do with the company. I think that's just like a role people are given to, go to investor meetings after they kind of retire. I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong about that though, so don't quote me. I'm not a business savvy guy in terms of companies anyway. But the new CEO of WildWorks is Jeff Amos, and he was a co-founder of Smart Bomb Interactive, or WildWorks, I guess. So it's someone that, has worked at the company for a long time as well. But given the leadership change, I imagine the work environment there has probably changed as well, and, kind of what they're doing and working on at the games as well. Because, I haven't really been keeping up with Animal Jam Play Wild in the last few months, but I imagine the updates have, from the videos I've noticed online, have, been somewhat different to the year prior. And I don't know too much of what goes on internally, but I just know typically when it comes to companies changing their, leadership, their main leader at the top comes with a difference in, kind of how they work on stuff in the game. So that's kind of why I'm mentioning this. And kind of drafting on from, the part of the CEO being changed and Clark specifically, he did mention this in the interview. He was the one that announced this whole Animal Jam being reworked project in the first place. And I imagine this is something a lot of people at WildWorks were pretty ambitious about and wanted to do. And from what I know, a lot of people that work there still do want to do a lot of things with Animal Jam Classic. It's just they don't really have the resources to do so. And in all honesty, looking back on this interview now, I'm pretty sure, and this is kind of my opinion, and I've gathered this opinion, I guess, like concluded this opinion just based off of the information I've been gathering, over the last year regarding this project. I imagine Clark did say this ambitiously as well, without, kind of any planning in mind. They did say they had some kind of, beta version running up or whatever, like some test version, but I don't imagine it had everything to do with Animal Jam Classic right now in that test version, pretty much. Which kind of brings me to my third point here. There is no point for them to do this, in all honesty. Yeah, the only point would be to please the, the remaining Animal Jam Classic players that still consistently play this game, that they didn't really anticipate for people to play that long. And, the performance issues as well would be a very big, quality of life improvement for the game as well. But in terms of Animal Jam, WildWorks is a main demographic, there is no point for them to update Animal Jam Classic. And the reason for that is because they're not targeting, the core community players of this game that have been playing this game for probably like over 10 years or something on and off. They're not targeting those players. They're targeting the players that play for a few months and then drop off, because to them, all of the content that they are seeing in game and, these kind of quote unquote recycled updates, that's technically new to them. And not only that, there's really no point to add anything new to Animal Jam Classic if we're really being realistic here. If you take a step back and look at the entirety of Animal Jam Classic's lifespan, you will see every update in the game and the amount of things there are to do in the game. Sure, if you're like an average Animal Jam player going into Brady's lab and just trading all day, you're going to be very limited on what you're going to be doing. You're going to be doing the same things over and over again. But if you're just a random player, average player, just doing stuff around the game, you have a lot of content to take in there. Even as a free-to-play player on Animal Jam, you have a lot to do. There's probably hundreds, if not thousands of hours of gameplay into this game that you can take in without even including these kind of monthly recycled updates. And I'm sure a lot of you have probably played all of this stuff as a kid, but you know, as I said, their main demographic isn't you anymore. It is the kind of players that join the game and drop off of it after a few months. And that's kind of what most games like Animal Jam are targeting anyway. The same can probably be said for Animal Jam Mobile as well, but I imagine given the kind of activity on that game and how popular it is in comparison to Animal Jam Classic now, they're probably more likely to kind of pander to the quality of life changes in that game and kind of pander to more long-term players as well, just like how Animal Jam Classic did when it was popular. They did do updates for long-term players. They did do quality of life changes as well, but now it doesn't really make sense. There's very few people in this game that have been playing for the longest time that it would be worth for them to make these kind of quality of life changes or, you know, super big updates for, because most of the people on this game now, believe it or not, are just people that have started playing within the last few years. So yeah, I don't think this Animal Jam 2 thing, well, it's not gonna happen obviously, but a reworked Animal Jam pretty much is more accurate to say. I don't think it's gonna happen, and if it ever does happen, it probably won't be for the next few years, unless Animal Jam wins the lottery or something, because I see people talking about Nazara funding Animal Jam and stuff like that, but that's to Animal Jam Mobile. They're not funding Animal Jam Classic because they make little to no money probably from it. They probably make profit, but not a whole lot to the point where like they would risk putting more money into a project of, you know, reworking the entire game, you know, that much content reworked. It would be an expensive thing. I just want to put this into perspective before I end off the video. Animal Jam Classic is 14 years old and has been developed for even longer than that. I'm pretty sure it was developed in 2008 and 2009 as well. So that much content, we're talking over like 15 years of content pretty much being reworked into one game again because of the game engine being changed. They have to rework everything. That's not an easy thing to do, and it's very, very financially pressing as well. So I don't think it's gonna happen. I think this whole reworked Animal Jam thing, it was wishful thinking on a part of the ex-CEO, and you know, the Animal Jam community ate it up as always because we are all so desperate for Animal Jam Classic updates. You know, even with all these things in mind, obviously I would still love to see an Animal Jam Classic update. Who wouldn't? But it's probably not gonna happen. But yeah, that's it for this video. Make sure to subscribe with notifications on if you guys do want to be notified on future videos, as well as videos just like this one. Make sure to leave a like on it if you did enjoy, and let me know what you thought of in the comment section below. What your guys' thoughts and opinions about this. Let's have a discussion down there, and I will catch you guys in the next one.